So now I'm going to demonstrate how to use Respondus Test Authoring software to import quiz questions from a text file that have images associated with them, and then publish that to the Canvas course. I have made another video that demonstrates the process you would go through if you don't have any images, and that is a little simpler, and I will link to that video in the description of this video. But this is for when we have images. So here is one question that I have formatted in Word, and is a fill-in-the-blank question, which I will end up changing this to a numerical answer question in Canvas, so it can grade it, or maybe even a formula question. But for now, I'm going to import it as a fill-in-the-blank, so that's what the type F means. And also in the description of this video, I linked to some documents that talk about the expected format of these questions that I will be importing to Canvas, and those could be useful. So here's a fill-in-the-blank question. It's a physics question about pulleys, and here you can see is my image tag. So this image is pulley.png. That is the image that is also going to be imported to Respondus. And if I go to the folder where I have this image, it's in the same folder as the file that I have, Respondus demo img rtf, rich text format file. And here's my pulley png. And here's what it looks like. It's just a picture of a pulley and some masses. Now, it is possible to directly embed images into a Word document, a docx file, and then import that into Respondus, but the image quality is poor. Respondus will convert your JPEG or PNG file, whatever it is, into a GIF file, and my experience is that the quality of that file is very poor. So I think it is better to use this process. And so pulley PNG is the file, and I have to use this format in square brackets. I think you have to have a space after the first bracket and the I, but I'm not exactly sure. And then a colon, and then a space, and then the name of the image in quotes, and then ended with a square bracket. And that has to be, if there's an answer given in the file, in the question, this image has to be before the answer, because after the answer, Respondus stops looking for information. So put that image file above the answer. Okay, so this is the file that I'm going to import, and it is an RTF. So it is important that it is an RTF. This process will not work with a Word DOC or docx file. Okay, so now I'm going to close this and go to Respondus. And because I have an image, I have to choose, under personality, I have to choose an IMS QTI. And then I will go to import questions. And the type of file that I have is a rich text format, RTF. And so I will click rich text, and then I will browse and find my RTF file, which is here, Respondus demo img, and I will open that. Now, your images need to all be in the same folder, and by default, when I click browse, it's the same folder that my RTF file is in. So I'm not going to change that, but you could browse to another folder if your images were in a different folder. And I'm going to give this Respondus project a name. I'm going to call it demo RTF images. And I will preview this. I click preview, and Respondus goes through an error checking process, and I didn't have any errors. I only had one question in the file, so it said no warning, so I'm in good shape, and I will click finish. Okay. Now it takes me to the edit tab, and I could do some editing here if I wanted. I could click edit, and I can change lots of different aspects of the question. I can change it to a different type of question. I can change the question wording, change the answers and the points and so forth. I'm not going to do any of that. So I'll cancel changes, but now I will go to Preview and Publish tab, and if I click Preview the file, now you can see my question is here, and the image has now shown up. So it's imported from that PNG file and merged it with the text that was in my RTF file. So that looks good to me. The answer field is down below, and the answer. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Now, because I have an image I can't publish directly to Canvas, I have to save a QTI file and then import that QTI file into Canvas. So now I will click on Save QTI. And it is important here that you save it as a QTI XML zip file, which comes up as the default in this case. So I'm just going to save this, and I will save it to my desktop so I can find it easily. And it's demo RTF images is what it'll call it, and I'll save it. Okay, now you can see it's on my desktop right here, and I can import that into Canvas. So now I will go to my Canvas site. This is the main page of my EF157 site, and I will click at the top right, Import Existing Content. And under content type, I will select QTI zip file, which is the one on the very bottom, and I will choose the file, which is on the desktop, demo RTF images.zip. I will open it, and I need to select a question bank. I'm going to create a new one, and I'll just give it the same name, demo RTF images. And I will click import, and it'll take a little while to import that. Okay, didn't take long. It says completed. Now I can go to quizzes. So you select quizzes on the left-hand side, and then once I am at the quizzes window page, I go to the three dots menu in the top right and click Manage Question Banks, and this shows up here. This is what I just imported, demo RTF images, and there's my question, and the text is as I expected it. You know, the formatting in the RTF file, bold, italics, underline, bolded list, those will all be preserved in the importing, exporting process. And then here is my image, and so I can edit this as needed. You know, I can, if this image looks a little bit big, I can make it smaller. And at this point I could change this to a numerical answer problem, and you know, put in what the answer would be, and then Canvas would grade that automatically, and so forth. So I think this is a good process for maybe semi-automating this and being able to edit it in Word rather than edit it in Canvas, which I think is a little bit easier to do it in Word. So hopefully this is useful for you.